This album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling from that called the police on me when I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter. To all my peoples in the struggle, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, baby, baby. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop. Smoking weed and bamboo, sipping on private stock. Way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. Remember rapping Duke? The hard. You never thought that hip hop would take it this far. Now I'm in the limelight cause I rhyme tight. Time to get paid, blow up like the world trade. Born sinner, the opposite of a winner. Remember when I used to eat sardines for dinner? Peace to Ron G, Brucey B, Kid Capri. Funk Master Flex, Love Bug, Star Ski. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call a crib, same number, same hood. It's all good. And if you don't know, now you know, you know, you know. You know very well who you are. Don't let them hold you down. Reach for the stars. You gotta know that nothing can change. 'Cause you're the only one. I made the change from a common thief to up close and personal with Robin Leach. And I'm far from cheap. I smoke skunk with my peeps all day. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. The Moet and Alizé keep me pissy. Girls used to diss me. Now they write letters cause they miss me. I never thought it could happen, this rapping stuff. I was too used to packing Asian stuff. Now honeys play me close like butter play toast. From the Mississippi down to the East Coast. Condos in Queens, indo for weeks. Sold out seats to hear Biggie Small speak. Living life without fear. Putting 5 carats in my baby girl ear. Lunches, brunches, interviews by the fool. Considered a fool cause I dropped out of high school. Stereotypes of a black male misunderstood. And it's still all good. And if you don't know, now you know, you know, you know. You know very well who you are. Don't let them hold you down. Reach for the stars. You gotta know what you're the only one. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. 50-inch screen, money green, leather sofa. Got 2 rides, a limousine with the chauffeur. Phone bill about 2 G's flat. No need to worry, my accountant handles that. And my whole crew is lounging. Celebrating every day, no more public housing. Thinking back on my one-room shack. Now my mom pimps an act with minks on the back. And she loves to show me off, of course. Smiles every time my face is up in the sauce. We used to fuss when the landlord dissed us. No heat, wonder why Christmas missed us. Birthdays was the worst days. Now we sip champagne when we thirsty. Damn right, I like the life I live. Cause I went from negative to positive, and it's all. And if you don't know, now you know. You know, you know.
And if you don't know, now you know. ENS is trending, right? Good morning, beautiful ladies and gentlemen. This is Friday. You know, I'm excited every time we get to Friday. It's the end of the week. We've been doing spaces all week. And now Friday spaces are just kind of, let's just kick back, relax, have a good time, have some good conversation, and then ultimately get ready for the Friday night happy hour. That's my routine for Fridays. But exciting things going on in the market, right? Especially for the digits and 3 letters. I've seen there's a massive sweep for the 4 digits last night, right? And there's going to continue to be sweeps. The digits aren't going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. They're not going anywhere. We've seen it last weekend with the 5 digits and the 3 digits. Last night, we've seen a 4-digit sweep. We're going to continue to see these sweeps and the digits, maintain their prominence and their value because they're the most liquid thing in ENS. And like I said earlier, they're the best marketing exposure to ENS, right? I wholeheartedly believe if it wasn't for the digit craze, we probably wouldn't be as far as we were today, right? 000 selling for 300 ETH, all these insane numbers of digits being sold. It's bringing a lot of attention to the ENS community, to the ENS, space. So that's something to be grateful for. 3 letters. There was a slight little 3-letter sweep as well. So, like I said, I've been talking about the three letters, right? I think they have the most potential upside compared to all the categories, right? And I do believe that. I think it might take a little bit longer. A lot of the attention is on digits right now, but soon that attention and soon people are going to begin to wake up when more use cases and these things become more normalized with premium words, letters, so forth and so on. So enjoy the journey, embrace the journey. We're literally still extremely early to what this is to become. Next, I want to say is I know we're going places is because different influencers are quote unquote influencers, crypto influencers, NFT influencers, are starting to talk about ENS. That is a good sign, right? Whether they're talking good about it or bad about it, the fact that they're beginning to mention this thing is a very good sign because it's getting to a point where they can't ignore it anymore, right? I seen a dude yesterday, NFT verse tagged me in it, where he had like 100,000 followers. Forgot who this dude was, but he said something along the lines of he doesn't see the purpose or the point of ENS and why people are like whatever he said, right? And I try to invite him on the show, and he responds to me. He said something along the lines, "Oh, if I was to do an ENS space, I'll just do my own." And I'm like, "Bro, you just said you don't even see the value in it. You know, how can you host your own, right?" So it's things like that to be cautious of and mindful of. This dude doesn't see the value of it. And then he says he'll host his own show. So it is what it is, right? And then
Well, you know,
we just had Carl from the Moon. I don't know if you guys know who Carl is, but Carl's a pretty big name in the, at least I think he is a pretty big name in the crypto space, not necessarily the NFT space, but the crypto space. And this guy, um Carl's a pretty big name in the crypto space, and he just made a tweet about ETH domain. So that's pretty cool to see Carl tweet about that. He's I like Carl. I think he'll get you wrecked. Don't follow the YouTube channel and all that leverage trading he talks about, but he's a pretty cool dude. So with that being said, let's get the show started. Good morning. Oh, by the way, also not Ron, Master will not be joining us today. He's caught up in a couple of things for work and in real life or his physical life. So we have NFT verse replacing him as a co-host spot today. But good morning, Ron. How you doing, bro?
Hey, GM Kev, GM everybody, doing great. Yeah, old Carl's, is exactly as I predicted. He's a trader, but hey, he did go from working in a Swedish grocery store to driving a Bugatti. But yeah, yeah, I don't like the leverage trading. And just so everybody understands clearly, guys like Carl, and he seems like a decent trader, seems like a decent guy, but realize when you use one of his links for one of those leverage trading links, he gets 48% of all your trading fees. So, doesn't matter if he makes money trading or not, as long as he has a lot of followers that buy the links. I mean, some of those guys make, potentially $1 million a week or more off those leverage trading links. So just keep that in mind when you're doing it. Doesn't mean he's a bad guy. Doesn't mean he's not great at TA. Just realize where these guys are making money. It's usually, 50% of the fees. That's a lot of money. So anyway, that's why I hate leverage trading. And yeah, I'm with Kev. Don't get into leverage trading. And then yeah, that guy, I think it was Ox Hustler, which is interesting. He may just be engagement farming. Um, uh, Kev, to be honest with you, he may just kind of realize it, and he probably believes it, but he's like, yeah, I'll just use this to have my own thing and talk about it, which is great. He follows me and a lot of the people I noticed in this community, so I think he might be probably believes it's not going to be next best thing since sliced bread, but I do think he might be also a little bit of engagement farming. I responded back and to him a little bit, but only time will tell. It's all good, it doesn't matter if they believe it or not. That's why you can't go off other people. There's an obviously real smart guy with a lot of followers who doesn't get it. That's okay. That's the way it's going to be. Then it makes you think. It makes you stop and reevaluate our thesis. That's good to do. Never. We don't want to be just an echo chamber in here. We're just telling each other where it's going to go. We got to think of, which I don't think we do here, but anyway, it's good. And then the other thing, Kev, I think you saw. I think NFT verse or someone posted it. The number one most rare crypto punk, the dude with the top hat and the beard, bought his number, a 4-digit for like 8.84 or something. Dude, that's huge to me. It's so funny because everyone used to like beg all the apes and punks to buy the number, and they kind of, they kind of blew us off like, piss off, you needy bastards, And but now we don't really care because we don't need them, especially to sell a digit. You can sell a digit in the next 30 seconds, probably, if you want to put it below the floor, except a 90% offer. I get offers on every one of my 4 digits every day, so multiple offers. So we don't need those guys anymore, but it's still awesome that he bought that, and just something we always talk about. We don't know if what it's going to be worth to somebody. I mean, that's got to be a $5 or $10 million crypto punk, right? And so what's it for him to spend 8.8 ETH or whatever, right? But it's funny because in my mind, I kind of value the lower numbers more. I don't value those high numbers more. If I do sell one, I'll sell one in the 8s or 9s or 7s before I'll sell ones in the 2s, 3s, or So it's like, keep in mind, you don't know. So maybe price them a little bit high. Luckily, whoever had that one knew probably that it was that number, and they get paid off. So that was huge news. Obviously, the 4-digit sweep last night was awesome. And another one, some of you may have seen. I know he tagged me in it because I love the numbers. But of the last 100,000, about 108,000 or so ENSs registered, 30% were registered in going using ENS.vision. So I love to see that. I love what those guys have done for us. They support the show. Heck, they support the ENS Maxis who support the show. They're just all around good guys, and I was super happy. A third of all registered ENS names over the last 100,000. I don't know if that was over the last week or whatever, but yeah, that was good news. So yeah, good stuff happening every day. Good stuff happening, and don't forget ENS Happy Hour happening tonight. So shout out to NFT Verse. Looking forward to hearing from him. Looking forward to that. Shout out to the sponsor, the ENS Maxis. I picked up myself kind of a real grill one last night. I went in to sweep the floor and I found one that I really liked, so I got it instead. So that community seems to be getting stronger. Floor seems solid, and love to see more people rocking Maxis. So yeah, looking forward to the conversation. Looking forward to ENS Happy Hour.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And just to piggyback off a couple of things Ron said here is, number one, I want to go back to the leverage trading. Last summer, I think it probably was, during the heart of the bull market, or a little bit right before the summer, the heart of the bull market, I was on YouTube, and I was following all these guys, BitBoy, what's the guy named Caro. I was following all these guys for trading, and learning about, trying to ultimately genuinely trying to learn about Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I was just, at that point, I didn't know the difference between a bull market and a bear market. I didn't know any of that, right? So I'm on YouTube every day learning. More of the story is, to make a long story short, I begin leverage trading, right? I begin leverage trading, and I make a shit ton of money. Like, I'm talking about, well, at least relative to myself, I make a decent amount of money, and I didn't really know what I was doing, right? And anyway, long story short, I wake up the next morning and it's all liquidated. The whole entire thing is liquidated, and I was absolutely devastated. And that's when I learned. That's when I learned my lesson. Hey, I'm not going to leverage trade anymore. I could have just stocked that money and been better off. But sometimes you have to pay an expensive. You have to pay the cost to learn an expensive lesson. So it is what it is. I don't participate anymore. I got wrecked. Right. Once you get wrecked really good, you're gonna be like, all right, cool, I'm good off of that. Next is, yeah, you make a good point with seed phrase purchasing 8348 for 8.34 ETH. And I don't know if the seller knew that was the most rare crypto punk, or he just kind of just priced it based off of the actual number, because every number means something to somebody, right? So I love that purchase. I know Daniel got hits made a good point in a world of with CryptoPunk owners and BAYC owners who their punk or their ape already flexes their status, right? What else could,
What's your number?
bro? Yeah, my bad. I had to remove. That's the second time he's just he's not staying on mute. My bad, Jason. I had to remove you, bro. Um, the point I was trying to make is in a world where guys are already have super valuable assets, right? How else do you add on to that flex? It's adding on the digit to the flex already that you have. So I love what Seed Phrase did. I think it definitely brought some attention to the digits, and I wouldn't be surprised if other valuable ape owners and punk owners follow suit. But doing today, bro?
Oh man, I think. Can you hear me? Can everybody? Can you hear me, Kev?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, just kind of got paused a little bit. First of all, GM to the community, GM Kev, thanks 5159 for hosting the ENS update show, man. I wish people would just kind of swallow their pride a little bit and tap in. I mean, come on, man. I mean, the thing is that this is the show that's been going on, for months now. So, I just say to myself, like, that particular guy, hey man, just tap in. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We don't claim to know everything in here, but the one thing that we do know is that we've been holding this thing down for months now, and we got the right combination of people in here that can help support or give you a little bit of feedback on some of the thoughts that he may have. So, I think it's important. Ron, the co-host, thanks, Ron, as always. See Gary up here, NY 718-3402. My girl, get ready for tonight's happy hour. Crypto Reporter, Flexter, 184, and ENS Max is in here, always showing up to the show. Yeah, man, I just want to say that, number one, the Friday night happy hour is tonight at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be pre-gaming it with my guy 1202. I'm sorry, 12012 .eth. I'll pregame it with him for a little while. We'll kick it and talk some ENS. But once when 9 o'clock starts rolling around, I tend to my brain tends to go a little bit, I don't know, in the wrong direction a little bit, especially if I'm, sipping on a little something and getting ready for the happy hour. I don't know how much value he's going to get out of me at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we'll see. We're gonna pregame it out and see what happens. But just to kind of touch on that purchase, from C Phrase, I think that's huge, right? I mean, like Ron said, and like Kev said, you never know what the value that somebody's going to have for a particular, 4 digit, right? And we talked about this before with the thesis of the other side land with the 5 digits. I know you guys remember that. So I don't know if that's going to ever come into play, but like I said, originally that was my original play and my original thesis for getting a 5 digit. I didn't look at the palindromes. I didn't look at the low numbers. I went and did some research on the other side land and saw that, oh wow, this one has a coda on it. Oh well, let me scoop up this 5 digit right now for this particular land because it has a gold coda on it, right? I didn't know if that was going to come to fruition, and I still don't know if it's going to come to fruition. But it makes sense that if somebody scooping up has a particular relic as a punk or board eight, and the other side land, these things are historic. So why wouldn't they want that next level flex to go and match up those digits? That's just my theory on that. Man, I'm not gonna go long. Today, because I just got to prep and everything. I got to get my mind right. Today's Friday. I don't want to overdo it. So I appreciate everybody tapping in this morning. Appreciate the whole entire community. Man, let's continue to do what we're doing out there. All the spaces going on. Continue to do what you're doing. We're touching folks. We're getting out there. We're touching folks, man. And people are coming into this space and they're curious about what's going on. Welcome them with open arms. Be sure to welcome them with open arms and educate them and help them learn about what's going on in this space, man. I look forward to the discussion today. As always, community, thanks for showing up. Retweet the space out. Let's get some more people in here. Thank you.
Indeed, indeed, I agree. Right? Let's definitely pack this room out. This is what this space is all about: onboarding the next generation, educating the next generation, and most importantly, having a good time while we're doing this. Right? So let's keep the show moving right along here. Right? We have let's go to Gary Palmer Jr. Good morning, Gary. How you doing, man? All right. I think Gary might be away from his phone for a second.
Hey, sorry about that. For
He's
you,
back. You ran back. You ran back. Okay, there you
yeah,
go.
you caught me. I was like, oh man, what are the chances, right? Is this that's how it goes? That's how it goes. GM. Yeah. What do we got today? We have more numbers being bought. It's funny. It's like no matter how much people are like, the more that people want to diss the numbers, it's weird. It's like every action has an equal but opposite reaction. It's like people diss the numbers, and then the pallet that one Dow purchased all those numbers, right? And then someone dissed the numbers, and then Seed Phrase purchased his CryptoPunk number. Someone dissed the numbers. Another 42 Ethereum was dropped buying the floor of the numbers. It's like the more you say something sucks, the more you're proving how cool it is. Because if it really did suck, then people wouldn't be talking about it, right? And it's really funny every time someone's like, "Hey, do you think this name is cool?" And it's like, well, if you're thinking about it, then there has to be, something to it, or if someone's thinking about it. But there's a lot of fun stuff happening in that space. Let's see here. Um, so what else is going on in the news today? Yeah, CryptoPunk holder, Web3 names. The merge is about to happen. Yeah, I said a long time ago. It really seems like the subdomain wrapper is waiting to be released until after the merge happens, and yeah, it's just feels that way, right? We got the countdown. It's about a week or two, and then it's this big event. I mean, I sometimes I forget how big of an event this is. We've been told that this is going to happen for years and years and years. So the fact that it's finally upon us is a big deal. Like the next step in the evolution. And we just don't know like where this technology is going to go. What's like what role each of us is playing. And it's just really palpable. It's really palpable. And with more, we were just saying a couple of weeks ago how none of the crypto influencers are talking about this. And yeah, lo and behold, a week or two later, some of the influencers are starting to talk about this. They still haven't really updated their name, but I think we all know it's undeniable, right? And people, they tried ignoring the ENS names. They don't want to pay the prices to get involved. And now people they're getting a little salty about the prices. They're getting salty because they know this is real. They know they want to participate, and they're just slow to get involved. And yeah, I don't know. And last thing, just on a side note, I posted up above. I thought it was really interesting that what's happening with money, right? And why people want to be their own bank, and what's happening with their profiles and their data and names and identities, such as ENS names. And this really extends to everything, right? It even extends to heating and cooling, and what we're doing here with blockchain and Web3 and controlling our own identity, controlling our own money, controlling our own digital assets or NFTs. There are these people in Denver, they don't control their own thermostat, and they weren't able to adjust the heating and cooling in their house because they don't control the thermostat in their house. And it's so interesting. I think one day, it's just, doesn't it make sense? Everyone's going to understand the importance of owning their identity, just like they're going to understand the importance of owning everything. And we're going to look back on this conversation of our numbers unique, our numbers cool, do numbers have utility? And it totally misses the mark of what's really happening. It's like it's the question needs to be, does owning your own name have utility? And obviously that's a big resounding yes.
and everything's happening slowly and slowly at first, and then all at once. I think we're in that in between slowly at first and all at once phase.
Yeah,
man.
let me just say real quick, Gary. I mean, it's like I think these people don't know how. I think these influencers, they don't know. The only model they know is pay off the influencers, pump it up, dump on the people. That I think all they understand in crypto is pump and dump. I don't think they understand. Or listen, is us talking about the numbers, hyping it a little bit? Yeah. Is ENS Vision making a 10K club and a 100K club and a 999 club? Is that hyping it a little bit? Yeah. But the difference is we're hyping it because we're believers. We're not. I'm not.
No, that's Ron. I know what you're saying, but that's not the difference. The difference isn't that we're believers. The difference is that what we're believing in, and what we're believing in is not something that you just pump and dump. I mean, obviously, there's like we have the maxis and we have the 10K club. We have these different clubs, but it's not that we're the majority of us. It's not that we're hyping the clubs, and we're not hyping the assets, and we're not hyping the value of like what is seed phrase worth and what is 2223.eth worth. No, what we are hyping is the protocol. It's the technology. And the influencers, it's hard for them to wrap their brains around the protocol and the technology and the utility and the public good, because they're focused on, oh, how do I pump this shit coin, or how do I pump this really good project and like Chainlink, not a shit coin, right? How do I pump Chainlink and get the price to go up so I can make money on the up, and then I can short and I can make money on both directions. But with ENS, it's not just about, they at least they haven't figured it out yet, right? And maybe they'll play those games with the ENS coin and with certain names, but it's not like this. Our project is not based around money. It's not based around owning the world. It's based around giving people identity, and
No,
I think that's a
you're right.
different
You're
world for
right. No, you're
influencers.
right. That's what I. Yeah, you did a little better job of articulating it there. It's real world use. It's really there's something real there that we're hyping, right? And the other thing, look, pick on something other than the numbers. You don't have to be very good at math to appreciate scarcity. I mean, I think that guy, that Ox Hustler, whatever, was even saying, "Oh, numbers aren't worth shit in the .com world." No, they are. They are because they're scarce, right? So you're banging your head against the wall. You're arguing against simple math that someone in elementary school can do. There's 10 numbers times 10. There's 100. 100. There's 999. There's 10,000. There's 100,000. It's like don't shade the numbers. Don't diss the numbers, because that's the easiest argument. But yeah, it's a new paradigm, Gary. I think that's what I'm trying to say. They don't get it. They're locked in a model that isn't applicable to this, and then they'll come around because they're going to have no choice. And you mentioned them being salty because they're kind of missing out. I'm going to admit, when ENS did the airdrop, I was a little salty that I didn't have a bunch of them, and I literally didn't. I kind of shaded them for a few months after that because I missed out on the airdrop, and it kind of pissed me off because I knew better, right? So I'm going to admit to having that salt and being a little bit slower to really ape into the ENS domains because I was salty because I didn't participate in that airdrop. So I'm going to admit that it's a real thing.
Awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we'll keep the show moving right along here. I do want to do a slight reset of the room. I think Ron, Gary, NFTverse made great points as introductions to the space. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the ENS Update Show every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to about 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Special shout out to our sponsor, ENS Maxis. They believed in us when nobody else did. So huge shout out to the Maxis in the crowd. Give a heart for the Maxis. Another thing I want to say, y'all, is matter of fact, let's just keep it moving right along here. I think 184 was first, and then we'll go over to 3402, and then Flex.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Thanks for joining me poolside. G'day 5159 speakers, listeners, and everyone's going to speak later.
Your volume is a little lower.
Damn, what are we going to do? Let me see. Let's try. How does that sound? Is that better? No.
Yes, better. What are you standing by?
It's
Waterfall
both
also?
better and worse. Okay, come back to me.
Will do. I think he's probably outside or something. Let's go to 3402. The stage is yours.
GM, our tried and true host Kev, the co host Ron, NFTverse can't wait for happy hour tonight with our friend Shirley. Hello, community. It's Friday. Tweet this space out, everyone. Let's get more people in here. Some of our top 24-hour sales, we had 4 sales for 7 ETH. We had explicit, confess, flawless, brag, so some solid words. We also had a few 3 letters. Era sold for 19.5 ETH, has sold for 8.8 ETH, and ATA sold for 3.1 ETH. And then I saw triple smiley face sold for 6.5 ETH. So some good sales. That's all I have for today. Just looking forward to the rest of the conversation. Thanks, Kev. And I will hopefully see you all tonight in the happy hour.
Well, I think we have a new weather reporter. Thank you, 3402. We haven't had a weather reporter since Flossin went AWOL on us. But I think I'm going to crown you that new title. So congrats. Everybody, round of applause. 3402 just talked her way into a new job. So thank you, 3402. 184, go ahead, man.
Hey, thanks for persisting with me. Thanks for joining me poolside now in the locker. 5159, everyone else. I just want to say, 5159, I love what you said about Moon Carl. I just want to echo it for everyone here, because as though we have 100 listeners, I think at some stage that's going to be 10,000, 100,000. And this is actually a really great space for people to come into crypto. And a lot of people get introduced via ENS, and Moon Carl is the exact opposite. The guy is unethical. The guy posts fake trades, and generally anyone that follows him gets wrecked. So please, I encourage new listeners here not to follow Moon Carl. Stay in spaces like this where you're going to actually get people that are educating you. Secondly, what I want to jump towards is sort of echoing what Gary said. So there's Hemba is the number one claimant of CryptoPunks when they first came about. And he has a post, which I'll tag at one point. And I think it perfectly summarizes, if you apply it to ENS, it perfectly summarizes what we have. And that is ENS and Ethereum are one and the same. They go hand in hand together entirely. And so what's going to happen is everyone that enters the space is essentially picking up an identity. That's very different to the various projects that exist where it's a small community that comes in for a fleeting amount of time. ENS is something that everyone will migrate towards. And that makes it an absolutely integral investment, not necessarily financially, but an investment in your Web3 future. So, big fan. I had something else, but I'm a bit disheveled. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All good, bro. All good. Thank you for that 184. The stage, you're welcome to the stage at any time. Let's go right over along to Flex. Good morning, Flex. How you doing, bro?
Good morning, brother. How are you? Good morning to the room, everybody. Namaste. Actually, I just want to kind of touch on what Gary had said about when people are trying to bag on these numbers and whatever, the reverb or what it causes. I actually put a post out last night, and the post says, okay, it's real Confucius style, so pay close attention. The same wind that seeks to put out the fire can also cause it to spread. So when we think about that, any publicity almost is good publicity, whether it's negative or positive. It's still going to be good because it is opening people's eyes. And even though some of these people try to put out our fire, all they're doing is causing this fire to spread more and more. So I do want to touch base on that. And I do want to let everybody know, don't listen to them. Just don't listen to them. Okay, people laughed Bill Gates off the stage when he was with David Letterman. People laughed at Steve Jobs when he wanted to do his stuff because they were early. They were visionaries. Everybody in this room is a visionary. Each and every one of you are visionaries. So that's just all I want to say is that don't let these people get to you, okay? Because the fire they're trying to put out, that wind, that running of the mouth, all they're doing is making the fire spread further and further. So God bless everybody, and I'll see you at the bar tonight.
Hey, let me just add to what Flexer said. Just from Flexer and I are definitely on the older side, not the oldest guys on this call. You know, and Flexer, you back me up on this if you think it's true. So few people in life have vision. Most people are just sheep. Most people, they not only don't have vision, they like to tear down those who have vision. I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you, it's such a small amount of people who have vision, and people try and tear you down. Because they don't get it, they don't understand. Now they haven't even taken time. I mean, I literally had a friend. I've got him on video. I put it up every time Bitcoin pumps, and when Bitcoin was $3,100, he's like, "Yeah, I got him on video saying, I just know when something doesn't feel right, and this doesn't feel right. Don't buy more Bitcoin at $3,100." And you know what I mean? And it's like I'm like, dude, I didn't say this on video, but after I shot the video, I'm like, dude, I've got like 15,000 hours into this, and you've got like 30 minutes watching some shit on the news or reading something on Yahoo or something. And why are you having an opinion? You know, you have such a strong opinion, which your opinion is just the talking points that someone else you read, you know. And so, yeah, don't just realize most people don't have vision, and most people want to tear you down if you do. So just it comes back to do your own research, be your own man, be your own woman. Don't do something because, you know, especially your family, they're going to be the first ones to warn you against something that they don't understand. So that's just a little philosophy from the old guys, not as eloquent as Flexter's. You know, he has to bring Confucius and Lao Tzu and all the good stuff. Me, I'm just kind of rambling, but hopefully you understood what I said.
No, Ron, you are. I do agree with you 100%, sir. The longer you live, guys, you'll know once you've actually made it, how many people try to knock you down. Okay, it sucks. But it's humanity, man. Like people get jealous and they just want to knock you down. The better you do, the more they're going to try to knock you down. So just be strong. You know, be part of a community like this community, the EN, because the community is not just maxis. I mean, let's just be honest. I love my maxis. Don't get me wrong, but there's 500,000 people. Okay, in this community for ENS right now. And it seems that, especially everybody in this room, we all stick together as one. You know what I mean? Nobody here is trying to knock each other off of their post. Okay, we might be a little jelly over some of the domains that other people have, but it doesn't mean that we're knocking them off their post. Like, I wish I had a 3-digit. I wish I had a 4-digit. You know what I mean? I sold mine like an idiot early. I didn't know this was going to happen. You know what I mean? But at the same token, I'm not going to bag those guys. All I'm thinking to myself is I was the fucking, oh, excuse my language. I was the dummy. Okay? That was my own fault. Nobody knocked me down. I knocked myself down off of those 3 and 4 digits because I didn't have faith in the beginning when I first started this. So have faith, guys. Please have faith. This project, ENS in general, just this whole Ethereum thing is going to blow up. So thank you so much, 59. Sorry to take your time.
No,
Hey,
man. Go ahead, Verse.
yeah, Kevin, I just want to jump in real quick. I think that what we have to realize here, as a community is that, having confidence in something that you're willing to share with people who are close to you, whether it be a family member, whether it be a friend, and not be afraid that they're going to get rugged, right? I mean, think about that, man. I mean, we've all experienced projects, shit coins, all types of stuff where we've recommended to people and say, hey, jump into this thing, man. It's early, and they get rugged, man. So many people have gotten rugged in the crypto space and crypto Twitter. I feel so confident about being able to go to somebody who I'm close to, a friend or a family member, and say, hey, do you want your Web3 identity? Do you want to have the ability to be able to email somebody via Web3, accept payments via Web3, identify yourself in Web3 with signing with Ethereum? Here's what you can do that. Here's your identity that you can go secure for yourself for Web3 in preparation for what's to come. That to me, saying that to somebody, if you can't onboard them saying that to somebody, I don't know what else will in this crypto space. So I say that to say we have an opportunity here and we have a protocol here that you should never be afraid of sharing it with somebody else, because there's 500,000 people in this community who have already accepted what the future is going to look like. And to me, I believe the future is the ENS domains in Web3. That's my take on it, and I believe that we all have to think that way, because we have something on our hands that is unlike any other project out there, period. And it runs off of one of the most secure blockchains and the most trusted blockchains out there, and that's the Ethereum blockchain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree, man. You guys make great points. I love having the old guys on here, right? You guys, well, and I want to say one thing as well. Old is a mindset, right? Old is a mindset. You're as young as you want to be. But what I mean by that is um further in age than we are, because you guys bring a different level of wisdom that I personally admire, right? Every day that we simply can't understand yet because we haven't experienced that amount of life yet. But just keep in mind, Flex, when you say I'm too old for this, old is simply a mindset, bro. You're young forever. Keep that in mind, bro. 184 is back on stage. I don't know if you wanted to rebuttal on something, and then we'll go over to NY718.
No rebuttal, but I will be an oxygen thief. So I've had a deep breath. I'm a little bit slower now. NFTverse couldn't have said it better myself. This is an unruggable space, and it is a beautiful thing we can be confident about, especially being confident in Ethereum. But what I did want to say is that it is great that Seed Phrase got his 4-digit number, and he's not the first person to do so. There are many guys and girls out there that have gotten their number corresponding with their punk, their ape, their mutant, whatever it might be. But I want to also say to people, your number, you might see it as an investment thesis to send it over to that corresponding punk ape owner. But you might also see that it's your number. You love that number. And one day you maybe also like punks and you're going to get yourself a punk that corresponds to that number. It's actually a bit of an opposite relationship here. NFTs may have been first, PFP projects may have been first, but this is a very powerful Web3 identity. The last thing I want to say, and I will give back the oxygen, is this is Friday. It's 5 days in a week so far. Some of you, it's been 5 days. Some of you, it's been a week. For me, it has been a week. It has been exhausting. And so I've taken some poolside today, and I want to encourage everybody to get that time to relax and recover, because burnout is a real thing. And this is a very slow burn, what we're in right now. Burnout's a real thing. Look after each other. Go have drinks tonight. Do whatever you do. I'm going to be a hydro homie and have a big sleep. Thank you all.
Yes, sir. Thank you, 184. Let's go over to NY718. You there?
Hello, you hear me?
Yep.
Hello?
Yep. Oh,
Yeah, I said I want to make a quick comment on the current conversation, and then I have a question regarding yesterday's.
yeah, I think you're rugging, bro. We can't hear anything you're saying right now. At least I can't.
No, he's
Me
rugged. He's
either.
rugged.
Yep. NY718, step down and then come back up. I'll let you back up, and maybe hopefully that'll fix what's going on. But in the meantime, let's go over to Just Shields. Just Shields, what's good, bro?
Hey, what's up, 5159? Can you hear me okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Man, first of all, thank you for hosting this space, man, because, what I just heard today,
Hello?
oh, I think NY71 is trying to come back up. I'll just go back to mute. Give me 1 second.
Hey, NY, your mic is rugging. We can't really hear what you're saying, so you might have to step down and then request back up to kind of fix it. But go ahead, Just Shields.
No problem. Thank you once again, 5159. Um, no, man, today's conversation has been very, very out of the box and a very genuine conversation. I really loved what NFT Word said and how he kind of took that complex matter and took it down to like basic elements. I totally believe what's happening here is that, when people start to understand how important these numbers are getting, especially for those who have missed the boat. And then by the time when you ethically share a concept with someone about numbers, and once they understand the empowerment of the numbers and what's about to happen with the numbers, I think it only just makes sense for someone to get the numbers, whatever they want, or the numbers they believe in, because they find value for their numbers within themselves. And I think that's what's really happening when you see the numbers go down or go up. It's because all of a sudden a lot of people start speaking about these numbers. And then, when you tell a friend, he thinks about it, then he tells another friend, they think about it, and then all of a sudden you get 10 people saying, hey man, I want to get my numbers, how do I do it? And that bulk rush comes in, and obviously you start to see the value go up, because the value is designated based on the amount of people come into the space. So I think, those who've had the numbers, couldn't see the value for it, and sold it, it's completely fine. You can always get back into it. There shouldn't be, oh man, I can't get back into it. As long as you're alive and breathing, anybody can get back into the game. So I feel like those are some very crucial moments to understand that what's really happening and how the waves is happening. Because once we start to understand how the wave is happening, I think that is the key element. Because a lot of people say, oh, it's a hype. No, it's not a hype. It's just that when the value gets around and people want to come in to get the numbers they believe in, that's what's really happening. So you have to time it, and the strategy has to be done right. Like, for example, I had someone saying that I'm trying to get the Arabic numbers, but when I do it, it's coming out to this. And I said, look, your strategy has to be done right. You have to wait for the milestone time for when the gas price is right for you. So you have to create your own strategy based on what you're trying to do. So if it's okay, I guess my next question would be is that, can we explain like the gas prices for someone who's new and doesn't understand like how to time right with the gas prices? I think that would be really important. 5159 or anyone who could take that question, I would really appreciate it.
Hey, I would love to, if that would be okay. 5159. Can I take that question?
Go ahead, bro.
For me personally, just Shields. I didn't know in the beginning when I was doing this, and I kind of got in right when that other side thing was happening, right? So I was looking at gas at over 100 and all this stuff. So when I first started buying my domains, like anything under 40 was like good for me because I didn't know any better. And then I start looking to see how these gas prices can go down all the way to one. Like gas was one last week. I was minting domains for $5 and $6 last week with the gas. For me, being in Florida, it seems to be about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning is when gas prices are the lowest for here in Florida for me. So that's kind of when I wait to mint my domains. But there is a downside to that, I have to say, because I was looking for some domains that were there, and I was waiting for the gas to go down. And then when the gas did go down, they were already gone. So I don't know if that does help you and answer your question, because I really don't know how gas works. I just know that the miners charge you, you know what I mean, and you never get it back. But in Florida, at least, like between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, gas is always like super low.
Awesome, Flexa. Thank you for sharing that, because I had someone ask me a question and I told them, listen, the best place to hear any good information, you got to hang out with the legends. So, that person is in the space, and it's kind of okay, like for someone to share it, but I feel like it means a lot more if they hear it from other resources, because that creates more value. So, I would always tell someone that, listen, at any time you have any questions, or if you're trying to tell someone about anything related to ENS updates, and you feel like they might ignore you, this is the place to be at. 5159 hosting ENS updates. You have Ron, you have NFT Worst, you have Gary Palmer Jr., Master. It's like this is the room where you want to bring people in, because if they have other leading questions, you want to have people that are able to break down those complex matters in the most simplest and the easiest way where it's all understandable. You're not going to get any of this content anywhere else. And if you did, think about this. God forbid, and I believe this is going to happen in the future, because this is the right thing to do, and this is what's really happening. Imagine having a metaverse, right, show of ENS updates, where now this ENS updates has gotten into an evening show where you can come in, or your family members can come in, walk through that metaverse by buying a ticket to gain knowledge. And man, that's pretty big. I know it's going to happen. You know, you'll have Ron as one of the guest speakers, NFT Words, 5159, Gary Palmer Jr., and you have other keynote speakers that will literally can choose to charge and give out gold wisdom. That's what's happening exactly here. So please do not take that for granted. These individuals can be anywhere at the moment and can charge for their services, but they're here united, creating value for the community. And I think that's the biggest selfless act that you guys can do. So, you know, I know you guys go through a lot. Everybody has challenges, but it's because of you guys where you take your challenges, put it aside, and come for the bigger picture. And I just want to say thank you for doing that. You guys are just the most ethical people. Let's go.
Yeah, thank you for the kind words, just Shields. This is, I think, that's what it's about, right? It's about community. It's about coming together and helping on board, entertain and have a good time with the next generation of Web3 and ENS users. But let's keep moving right along over to NY718. Hopefully your mic is fixed. The stage is yours, man.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir. A lot better.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that. I just want to make a quick comment, and then I have a question regarding yesterday's space. I'm also of age. I'm 50 years old. Been a business guy since I was about 18 years, and one thing that I learned, and this is, in regards to the hater, it's probably the number one indicator when you're doing something right. I've learned it in my personal life, and even when it comes to family, friends. When you're on fire and doing things right, the number one indicator is hater. When you're absent of any haters, it probably means that you're doing something very wrong. So I think everyone should just keep that in mind. And I, in my personal life, almost look for those indicators when I'm doing something business or personal wise. Now, the question I had, I think it was Gary yesterday, talking about proof of work versus proof of stake when the merge happens, that our NFTs, ENF names, ENS maxis will be duplicated. So my question is, like, we would have two of them, and someone suggested possibly moving the proof of work one to another wallet. Is how do we know if they're duplicated and they look the same? How would we know the difference?
Yeah, there's it's generally speaking, the average person and even most of the above average people and really everybody should not be messing with the proof of work versions of the blockchain. After we have the merge, we're going to have the proof of work version, and we're going to have the proof of stake version of Ethereum. And there's probably going to be a lot of noise. There's definitely going to be a lot of noise, and there's going to be people trying to capture your attention. And there's going to be Twitter accounts and organizations and websites capturing your attention, talking about this. There might be some exchanges that do market making for the proof of work version of Ethereum. The vast majority of everybody should not mess with this. When we were talking about moving it to a different wallet yesterday, we were saying that if you were going to mess with it, that you should know enough to separate the asset from the wallet before you go, mess around with it. If you were going to sell, the proof of work, the proof of work version of Ethereum, for example. And this isn't just like, me being overly cautious. This exact same thing happened with the Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash situation. where people thought they were selling their Bitcoin Cash, but really they sold their Bitcoin. And obviously, that was a big mistake. And so I'm sure if these things happen, that these markets get created and the proof of work Ethereum gets enough traction, that there are people that are going to get hurt with that. So with a fork, with any fork, there's if Bitcoin forks, you have the old Bitcoin, you have the new Bitcoin, you have two versions of the code running. And if you held assets on the chain, let it be the Bitcoin blockchain or the Ethereum blockchain, you have the keys, right, to your wallet right now. When the fork happens and there's two versions, well, now you have the keys for both of those two versions. When you go to access the blockchain, like right now, if you're on Web3, you open the MetaMask and you connect to OpenSea, right? And sometimes when you're doing something on OpenSea or doing something in Web3, the website uses not Ethereum and it uses Polygon or Binance or Solana or something. And when that happens, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to change the network that your wallet is on. And so
you shouldn't see him. You're not going to see him, Gary. Just to clarify, you won't see him in your OpenSeas. You won't see him in your LooksRare, and you won't see the old version in probably even on ENS Vision. Correct? Though none of them are going to support the old chain.
Yeah, re-listen to the show because I try to speak slow, and I try to make it accessible for everybody. And if it's confusing, the only reason this is confusing for you is because it's new. And so these shows are recorded. Kev 5159 posts them on YouTube and Spotify. I think I'm okay to say that. I syndicate them. All these shows, I syndicate them on web3domains.com. So you can literally go back to these shows from whatever source you like, any of these, and you can listen to them slow on repeat, just the section you want, right? That's why these are recorded, right? And so you can do it. I'm used to obtaining a lot of information, and if you're new, it's not that you can't do it, right? If you can't ride a bike, it's not because you can't ride a bike. It's just because you haven't spent enough time understanding or practicing with it. And so the technical stuff is the same thing. All this technical stuff that I'm talking about, and that anyone talks about, when people just read the same thing, you have to read the same thing 3 times in a row. It used to make me feel stupid, and then I realized, no, I just learned differently. And so just take your time with this. Be careful with the split. Yeah, if you guys have any specific questions, let me know.
Awesome. NY718, I hope that answered your question. Long question, long story short, you won't be able to see them on all the major platforms. So I don't think it's something to be too concerned or worried about. But I hope that answered, man. Let's keep the show moving right along here. We have Crypto Reporter. I actually did an interview with Crypto Reporter yesterday for Web3 Domains. He wanted to know, he's writing an article about the ENS Update show. So shout out to Crypto Reporter for taking the time to do that. How you doing, bro?
Hey, GM everybody. GM Kev. Yes, I did see that. And in fact, I'm going to be working over it over this weekend so that we can have an article, because I feel like this show needs to be out there. And I feel like we've reached a certain stepping stone, right? This has been a very consistent show. Like as people have been saying, this is the only show that's over here Monday through Friday that we just talk about what's important, and we have updating news, and it's a great space. And so I'm happy to report on that. Also, shout out Gary for believing in me and taking that step, that leap of faith, and so that way we can be able to promote this out more to people who may not be aware of what's going on, and also to the ones that are excited, just as excited as I am, about ENS. because everybody today has made some very important points when it comes to the fact that we realize and have that, how do you say, we have that information out there, right? And thankfully, we had this history when it comes to knowing what a blockchain is, knowing what Bitcoin is. I mean, we've had over 10 years of history when it comes to just Bitcoin, and the fact that there is information out there um, that we are able to read and comprehend. I feel like that's important because a lot of people are still unaware of this transformation that is happening, and sometimes they're scared of something that is new. But when you really think about it, we have the data now, and I'm actually very grateful that I came in during the time that I came in, because it gave me a sense of a security. Something doesn't. You realize that if something is around for over 10 years or so, then it really isn't a passing fad, right? And luckily, we've had all these people that have written articles that have taken the time to explain what this is. Luckily, we do have people out there that are very intelligent, more intelligent than I am, that are explaining what this is to the masses. Luckily, we have people like Michael Saylor, or luckily, we have books out there like the Bitcoin Standard that will teach you why there is a need for a digital, um, just digital money. But I'm glad that I came in during the time I did, because I have all this information now that I can go back and research and see that this is why I have to go into this further. Um, So I'm grateful for that opportunity. Real quick, kind of switching gears here. Uh, Shout out to Just Sales, because Just Sales has some amazing content out there. Shout out to Ron. I feel like, Ron, thank you for taking the time every day to kind of like come in here and be able to try to give us like a new perspective on what was happening during that not during the early 90s time period, because I think it's important for people to understand or comprehend that this is that new wave. This is that quote unquote next big thing. And now we can kind of see from that perspective, okay, what is the future going to look like? And thankfully, we have all this information from the past. I keep on referencing that because it's important to realize, it's important to study history in order to figure out where the future is going. Um, we say this quote on here, which is, you got to figure out where the future is and then kind of like get there first. What you start to realize is that people throughout history have made massive amounts of wealth, or massive amounts of just influence, by understanding things that other people did not. When you take a look at John D. Rockefeller and what he was doing with oil and oil refineries, a lot of people were, in fact, scared of oil, or scared of investing in a resource or a commodity, because they couldn't understand it, or they were scared of the volatility, and so that's what turned a lot of people off. But then you start to see over and over again, it's those visionaries that are able to kind of see where that future is going, see how this new commodity, this new whatever it is, be able to see that vision and capitalize on it. And thankfully, every day we're starting to see that the same thing is happening when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum, when it comes to ENS. And you just see history happen over and over again. So what I do love about this space is that we have that traction. We have things that we can kind of like compare this to and say, hey, this is actually 10 times bigger, 100 times bigger. When I tell you that we are going to be fighting against just institutions, we're going to be fighting against DAOs, we're going to be fighting against exchanges, companies, celebrities. Like, I think that's true, because this is that one thing that people are really starting to see as like the next big thing. So, everybody, hold on to your grails. Try to hold on for the long run. I know 5, 10, 20 years is a long time period, but if if you sell one for 10x, 100x, 1000x, shoot, you could be, I mean, selling for millions. So just hold on to them. I love you all. Stay safe out here, and yeah, look forward to the rest of the discussion.
Shout out to Crypto Reporter for purchasing the name Crypto Reporter and then somehow manifesting himself into the role as a crypto reporter. I guess reporting on crypto. And from that, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's actually you're published now, right?
We got one in the works. In fact, actually, we have like 5 in the works, but that's another story.
Don't you don't have any? There's nothing published yet.
Oh, hold on. That's we got a couple in press.
I thought you had one published.
Don't worry. We'll have something up by next week, so then you guys can see the whole stories. Got a couple with Sean Murray, some people from Console. I got a couple out there, so and of course with Kev. So I'm really excited about this.
Mine's first, bro. Publish mine first.
I got you. Let's go.
Yeah, it's people are gonna forever ask, and they're gonna bite their nails waiting for the autobiography. What came first, the Crypto Reporter man or the Crypto Reporter ENS name?
And thank you, Gary. He registered me my new title, the weatherreporter.eth. Thank you.
No, I did. It doesn't have the word the. It's just Weather Reporter.
I know. I guess I just threw that in there.
Now someone's got to ENS ferry that to her quick.
Nice. I actually think that
someone else is going to do a derivative. Now someone else is going to be bestweatherreporter.eth and the weatherreporter
underscore.
Underscore weather. But 3402 is going to be just the premium, the original weatherreporter.eth.
That's actually a pretty solid name there. I'm surprised.
That is right. That is.
I love it.
Surprised it was available. Damn.
I guess there still is gems out there, right? Let's keep the show moving right along here, guys. We have jcurve.eth, and then we'll go over to Stephen Miller.
Hey, GM. Good morning, 5159, Ron, the NFT verse, Gary Palmer. Been enjoying the conversation. I've been more of a lurker in these things as opposed to a participant, but the subject came up earlier that I'd like to speak to. And it's one that's near and dear to my heart. Somebody was talking earlier about gas and how do you manage gas? How do you navigate gas to make your experience in ENS a good one? And I experienced that when I started. I was paying more in gas than for the actual domains. And to me, the equation didn't seem right. So I was like, what am I missing here? And it wasn't until I learned about advanced gas controls and started tracking gas through gas watchers. There are a number of different ones that you can go to see line graphs and see how it's trending. It wasn't until that I really took control of my ENS life. And that's what hooked me, hook, line, and sinker. And it gave me control over my participation in ENS. And I can tell you that my costs went down significantly. So that's an area there are so many new entrants to this space every day. And that is a major, major cause of either a good or bad user experiences is your familiarity with gas and how to control that. So that's something that I'd like to see more resources come out on and more time spent on, because while it's not the big grandiose visionary discussion about ENS and its potential and everything else, it certainly does have an impact on onboarding and user experience. So I'll pause there.
Yeah, man, I agree. I agree with you. I think gas could be a complex thing if you don't take the time to actually dive into it. So, and this is a funny story actually about when I was first getting into ENS. Right before the airdrop, probably like a week or two before the airdrop, I was going to go ahead and register my username Kepler King and probably like a couple other names, but gas was through the roof. It was through the roof. And I was like, man, screw this. I'm not going to pay this much money for this domain name. And I ended up not registering anything. And then like a couple days later, they announced the airdrop, and I deeply regretted it, right? But at that point, I didn't realize the implications of how wild gas could get. So J Curve, you make great points about gas. I think there needs to be more education about it. I think a lot of us don't really understand it deeply, right? It's really depends on the congestion of the network, and there's different ways you could kind of play around with it to get the cost that you want. But let's keep the show moving right along here. We have Stephen Miller was next. Steve, the stage is yours, brother.
GM, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day, a good night, whatever side of the globe you are on. I got to, again, show a little bit of love, send some flowers out to Gary Palmer Jr. for sending the weather reporter over to 3402. It got called out just before I got up here. I know that. But that entire name, once I saw that you registered that earlier on in the space, I was like, man, it's got me thinking. It's got the gears turning in my head. And I'm like, now that I think about it, like I'm kind of like the man on the street. I'm not so much a weather reporter, but I'm the man on the street. So I come bearing 2 questions from the street. But I'm not going to take up all the time for 2 questions. I'd rather ask the panel to throw up a react if you want to see something token aligned, be a question right now, or something more along the lines of like a trend. So if you like something that is token aligned question right now, throw up a heart. Or if you want to see a question or more around like trends in the market, throw up a peace sign. All right. Well, look, I'm seeing a lot of peace signs, so I believe that was trends in the market. So my question is, because I'm not seeing a lot of resources on it, and I'm seeing more people ask about it lately, what do you guys think about some of these newer symbol starting domains? The one that really has been catching my eye and a lot of the eye of people that I've been talking to have been domains that are starting with dollar signs. I think there's a tremendous opportunity there. I don't know if it'll truly be supported long term, but I know that people have been speculating on it and but have been running into the issue of not being sure how to register it. So I'm curious if you guys have any takes on that across the panel. But again, hope you all have a fantastic day, and I look forward to hearing your responses.
My concern is just what you said, Stephen. I think they're great, but will they be supported long term? Other than that, the dollar sign's great. I mean, it's still, you could have some real gems, dollar sign 420, whatever. That's great. But I worry about, I just worry about, will it be supported long term? That would be the challenge for me.
Yeah, second, to what Ron was saying. I mean, personally, I still think that there's a whole shit, excuse my language, but like a shit ton of, you know, names out there that, grails. I mean, like Gary just said with Weather Reporter. If I knew that was available, yeah, I would be getting that. Um, I just think that it is, yes, it's going to be a little harder to find these, but we have to kind of step back and think long term. I'd say go back with regular words or 2-word domains, or we already know that the digits have available liquidity, and I think that you can kind of like leverage that in a sense, or know that, hey, since these digits have liquidity, maybe to be on the safe side, I could hedge myself with a little bit of these digits because I know there's going to be available liquidity there. But then the hunt still goes on. Um, Also, shout out to ENS Trading Post because and places like Just Shills, because they will show you the grails that people are willing to sell for like really pennies on the dollar. Um, I think it was member services that I got, like ENS blogs, even I think decency.eth. I got that the other day because I feel like just these regular 1 to 2 word domains. I mean, shoot, people may not think Baby Blocks is a good domain, but if you take a look on like Google or something like that, you get 1.8 billion hits. It's like things like that I think that people will be more in tune with, just simple 1 to 2 words if possible. And if not that, you already know that the digits will have liquidity, that the exchanges are picking up the digits. I think those are good plays as well.
Hey, let me jump in for a second on that, crypto reporter. I think what we have to always keep in mind is that the dollar sign names out there that everybody is kind of experimenting right now. It is just that, right? It is an experiment, right? So we don't know how those are going to, how they're going to resolve and all of that good stuff that we've kind of talked about here. But the key thing to all of this is understanding that we're kind of pushing this thing out to an audience and a audience of size that we've never seen before. Period. We're talking about 7 billion potential people in that audience, which we don't know what type of identity they might fall in love with, or they may have a certain passion for. So I think we got to keep that mindset and that understanding a little bit more wider as it relates to 7 billion people that are out there and not just a select few, if that makes sense.
I love the perspectives, guys. Thank you so much for sharing them. Again, if you want to continue this conversation later, I would love to, spin up another just random ad hoc space later on today and talk more about the differences between like symbology that you can incorporate in ENS. Drop me a DM if you'd be interested in it. But I think that the one thing that was missing from the conversation that I was hearing most from other people is like you have to remember the insane parts of society within that 4 billion that NFT verse you're talking about, or the 7 billion. I don't remember which number it was. It's something in the billions. That we as human beings, for some reason across the world, there is a part of us that is flat out obsessed with vanity, not utility. So to me, I think that there is still an opportunity when it comes to dollars, and even using something like the ETH symbol in domains. But again, the question is always, will it gain support? Will it actually, have long-term support, to Ron's point? So big cheers to you guys. I've got a bigger question for later. I'm going to save it for a different episode because I don't want to take up too much time. But y'all have a great rest of the day, all right?
Thank you, Steve. And just to piggyback off of that question, if it gains support or if it stays supported, I'm 100% for it, right? Every domain is not about a flip, right? Maybe you could find some $ gems that you end up flipping for massive profit later on. But we're talking about online digital identities. I'm pretty sure 90% of the room here, we all have multiple wallets, right? Multiple in each wallet. The way I look at it, kind of has its own identity, right? I have 5159. I have Kefir King. I have like 5 to 6. I probably have like 6 different wallets, right? And minimum. I probably have more than that actually. But the story I'm trying to make here is that these domains are identities, right? Yes, we want to flip them. Yes, we want to make a profit for them. But some of these you have to consider as well as when mass adoption comes in, everybody's not going to be here to flip domains. People are going to come and register these things just to actually utilize as identities, the same way that you go and buy. When people buy .coms, a lot of people who are buying .coms on the secondary market are registering .coms. They're not registering it to flip them. They're registering to use as a business name and to go forth from there. So we'll see how it goes. I think the $ is cool. I think it makes a cool digital identity. We'll see how that goes in the future. Let's go over to quadruple rockets, and then we'll probably end this thing on ENS punks. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I wanted to just kind of like mention something along the gas lines and what you guys were talking about earlier. I also found a little trick when I was registering stuff a long time ago when, of course, gas was extremely high, where I would set the gas. If I didn't have to worry about, let's say, a name being claimed, I would set the gas price manually and just have it penned. And if it happened to pen for over like 40 minutes and gas hit that low price, it would actually go through. So if you didn't have to worry about somebody getting a domain and you're kind of going to walk away from your computer, you can set the gas at a very low GUI, and then it will process if that gets that low. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. We arrived to our anchor leg. ENS punks, take us home, man.
Damn, it's probably always a mistake ending on punks, just because you never know what's going to happen here. That dictionary is long, and there's a lot of words I got to say. No, but GM to everybody, and all the 5159. Ron, Master's not here. NFT verse stepping up in his shoes. Some big shoes to fill for Master. All the speakers,
shout out to the homie 3402 on the promotion. Just taking Flossen's job like it ain't no thing. I like it. And then all the listeners, the community, some very exciting things going on in the community. I've been helping a lot of people recently. Um, a lot of people are building, a lot of people are filing these grants, and it's a good thing to see. It's going to help everybody. We got Mrs. Marvel, we got Drea with ENS Grows, which is fantastic. Mrs. Marvel's doing Meta Ticket, and it's going to be something. It's going to be something big. Somebody was maybe on the verge of launching another Meta Ticket, so she came to me, and she did the work, no doubt about it. But it got all put together. She is out there. She is in the stream of commerce. She has now protected that IP. Nobody's going to big time her. She big time them. And, that is an important thing. I haven't really talked about law and IP and all that in a while. But, be aware if you're building on it, and you better be building, IP is a real thing. We're not just limited on chain. We are bringing on chain to off chain IRL. And you gotta invest. You're building a brand. You're building a business. You're not just buying and flipping. But it's exciting to see. It's exciting to see everybody submit these grants. Just chill. I did one with him on a Discord call screen share this morning. The homie, the weather reporter herself, she's got a grant out there for the good work she's doing with these Twitter spaces, just to raise awareness, just to get more builders, more content creators filing these grants. So, we do want to see the community come together, support each other. We want to see the builders build, the content creators create. And we want that tide rising so all of our ships lift. I happen to be in the whip right now. I mentioned it yesterday, right? I'm going over the BMF's house right now. I'm going to kick it with the baddest motherfucker. And, I've got his BMF.eth. We're going to chop it up, hopefully figure something out. I reached out to that Fracton. I was like, hey, I saw what y'all did with the digits, got it on the KuCoin exchange. I was like, what do you think about working with an athlete? No response. So I don't know if they're in this space or not. I don't know if somebody in this space has a connect over to them, but holler at your boy. I can't do all this stuff alone. We want it to be big. We want to do fun, exciting things. But no doubt, I see like, hey, athlete could own their name. They could chop it up as some fractionals. And then it's like, there's your fan club coin, right? Something like that. Of course, the subdomains are coming out. I've talked to them about that. They're excited, so there's endless opportunities here. It's just really exciting. Hopefully I get something done today. If not, there's always the next life maybe. I just shout out to the community for everybody, putting in the work, doing good job all the way around. Maybe sometime this week, I've been building these websites. I don't know why, but I'm doing the damn thing. And I'll do another one of these spaces. I want to see y'all copy the code. I want to see y'all deploy it on IPFS. I want to see you set those content records. That way, I could be going to that 5159.eth.limo, that flexter.eth.limo. So that's it. Y'all just keep doing the damn thing. And it is Friday. So, we're going to let our hair down with Shirley Lowe this evening, kick it in the NFT versus space. Another homie, right, who filed a grant. We love to see it. We want to see him, get supported. We want to see that grow. We want to see that grow and spin off into some IRL events, from that digital bar to the real thing. And, that's about it for your boy. Just kind of excited. But I appreciate y'all. Keep up the good work.
Give Jorge our best from the ENS community, man. Love that guy.
I do want to say thank you so much, Punks, for the DAP that you sent me on Fleek. And 3402, I did receive Boomer on Fleek.eth from you. So thank you so much, 3402, for sending me that. And again, the dApps, these decentralized applications that are being built around .eth. I mean, honestly, and ENS Punks, you brought it to my attention. That's the first one I've ever seen like that. So that's what I've been kind of, shooting out to everybody else now. Just people are asking, what utility does this have? And I'm telling them, hey, go check this shit out. Like, this dude put me on Fleek. My kids are laughing their ass off at me. And 3402 sent me Boomer on Fleek. So just the way the community rolls together. God bless all of you. Thank you so much, Kev, or 5159 for having me. Ron, thank you so much for co-hosting an NFT verse. You always killing it when you co-hosting and hosting. I'll see y'all at the bar tonight.
Awesome. It looks like Flex stole the show. He stole the anchor leg from Punks. But I'm just joking, man. Ron, verse, Gary, any final thoughts? We have a couple minutes here. This is the first time we actually going to end on time. So in a while, at least that is. Well, any final words from the co-host?
Yeah, man, just keep at it. Once again, this is it's a long-term play, and we got to keep that balance. I think it was 184 was talking about, burnout is real. Just got to pace yourself, and that's mentally, physically, financially. Don't that's why leverage. We talked about the evils of leverage. Leverage is all about the quick money. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as easy money, right? Um, it's no, I shouldn't say that. There is easy money after you've laid the foundation, right? After you've rolled that boulder up to the top of a mountain and it goes down the other side, you think to yourself, wow, making money is easy. But it's not when you're rolling the ball uphill. Right now, if all of our domains on average are worth, 1 to 50 ETH here in a couple of years that we have, that's going to be a big different. We'll all be in a different financial situation than we are now. So just keep in mind, you got to pace yourself. Bear market's the time to get healthy, get better organized. I'm trying to get as organized as I am before I go on trips. For the 2 or 3 days before I go on a long trip, I've got my list. I'm prioritizing. I've got every second planned out. I get so much stuff done. I think, why can't I do that all the time? So I'm trying to get more organized. That's what we do in a bear market. That's what we do in a we're in a bear market, but we're not in a bear market so much with ENS. We're in a pre-discovery market. So yeah, do whatever you have to do to be here for the long haul, and that's what it takes. And take the weekend, get some relaxation, touch some a beach picture, and I said, feet in the sand is greater than touching grass. So I think that's always the case. But get out there and relax a little bit, and live below your means, man. Maybe do a side hustle. Maybe sell some junk out of your house. Maybe don't don't buy that new car. Maybe don't just get yourself ready for the long haul and grind it out, and then when the easy money comes, it'll be fine, because you'll have plenty. And that's the way to do it. Not trying to do the leverage and get the easy fast money. Man, fast money, that never ends well. So let's have a great weekend. I'll see everyone at the bar tonight.
Hey, yeah, thanks for that, Ron. I really love that message of balance, and because I was gonna say things about that as well. It's really important that we get back to having both the yin and the yang in our lives, and having that balance in our lives. And on one hand, the leverage is killing people, figuratively and literally. There's 3 ways that good people go broke. Those are the 3 L's: ladies, liquor, and leverage. It doesn't matter who you are, man or woman. You just got to be careful with the leverage, let alone the liquor and the ladies. And you just got to have care for yourself and have a plan for yourself, and organize yourself And I would just say with the balancing of the yin and the yang, you don't want to be like a Gemini and push yourself to the extremes necessarily. But, you know, because there is that balance, right? There's that balance, but there's also, we like hot water, we like cold water. It's not always about warm water, right? But it's just because you like one of or the other. So if you're pushing yourself really hard right now, what I'm trying to say is that if you're pushing yourself really hard right now, then take this weekend to do some relaxation. And if you think you've been doing too much relaxation, then take this weekend to do some work and to get organized, to take a step back and to get organized. And so have balance in your life, have yin and have yang, and be careful of the ladies' liquor and leverage.
Awesome.
And I'll just leave everybody with this. My feet will be in the virtual sand tonight at the Island Bar. Guys, you deserve a good time. You deserve a good vibe. You deserve to be around good people. Meet us at the bar. Come hang out with us. This is where all the ENS regulars come and hang out, and everybody is welcome. There's no borders. Come to the bar and hang out with us tonight. See you guys at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Friday Night Happy Hour. Appreciate you, Kev.
Yes, sir. Right on time. Oh, Punks, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I reclaimed that anchor position, but I probably took the wrong message from Gary P. I am going all in on the 3 L's. That ladies, liquor, leverage. I don't give a fuck who's with me. I'll see you at the bar tonight. Those 3 L's, it is going down. I love it. Thank you.
I'm hanging out with ENS Punks tonight.
Yes, sir. Pre-game at ENS Punk's crib tonight. We getting lit. Ladies, liquor, and leverage. Let's get it, y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. 5159 is out. And most importantly, shout out to our sponsors. Our sponsor, ENS Max's, baby.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Marley Marl. I let my tape rock to my tape pop. Smoking weed and bamboo, sipping on private stock. Way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. Remember rapping Duke? The hard. You never thought that hip hop would take it this far. Now I'm in the limelight cause I rhyme tight. Time to get paid, blow up like the world trade. Born sinner, the opposite of a winner. Remember when I used to eat sardines for dinner? Peace to Ron G, Brucey B, Kid Capri. Funk Master Flex, Love Bug, Star Ski. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call a crib, same number, same hood.